What is going on, guys? It is Pokey here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be trying to teach you guys how to trick shot. So I have made one of these videos before, but I kind of want to redo it because, to be honest, that video wasn't the best at all. Like, I'm really not happy with how that turned out, and I missed a lot of things. It was also like a really bad commentary. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like good at commentaries now, but back then it was like my third ever commentary or something, so obviously it was a lot worse than it is now. Hopefully this will like be better than the last one, and I really want to just make like a clear and concise tutorial. Also, this isn't gonna like really help you if you're advanced at trickshotting or like you already know how to trick shot, but oh my god, I'm so bad. Hopefully it can give you a few tips and stuff and just make you that bit better, since I can't exactly make you a master at trickshotting just through like a video. Obviously it's mostly about practice, but I'm just trying to help you guys with a few tips that I found out along the way. So I really hope you enjoy this video, and I do hope it helps. So I'm just gonna go through like the details and settings I have for trickshotting, since obviously you might want to know that before you start like learning to trickshot, but this is just personalized. It all depends on how you play. So I usually use default sensitivity. My mouse sensitivity is 4 on Roblox, and as you can see I've got -2 look sensitivity and -1 aim sensitivity. My mouse has 650 DPI, if you guys know what that is. That's basically like the sensitivity of your mouse, and I usually use the same sensitivity for trickshotting as I do for sniping, since if you use the same for both, it's a lot easier to like get used to both of them at once, and you don't have to keep like alternating and stuff. So I do highly recommend you use the same sensitivity for like everything on this game, so yeah, you don't have to like keep switching it around and stuff. The main weapon you're gonna want to use for trickshotting is the BFG, but obviously a lot of you guys may not have unlocked it because I think it's like a rank 60 weapon or something. So if you haven't unlocked the BFG, I recommend the intervention because it's the second most powerful, but BFG is the best by far for trickshotting because it's one shot kill, and that means you can like avoid hit markers and all that stuff, so it's just generally better. For attachments, it doesn't really matter what you use, but obviously you don't want to use stuff like the suppressor because that lowers the damage of the gun, and usually I use the laser or the ballistics tracker, and I don't really change anything else, since the attachments don't matter too much when you're trickshotting, and those two just kind of help you when you have loads of time in the air, since right now obviously the ballistics tracker can help you like spot the enemy with the white dots so you know where you're trickshotting, but generally it doesn't actually matter too much. Honestly, you can just trickshot without attachments. I just avoid the suppressor and that's about it. So the fundamental thing about trickshotting that I always find helps me the most is learning to time 360s. When I first started trickshotting, that was the thing that made me like start to hit loads, and that is honestly just the most useful thing. Once you've got that and once you've got the timing right, you can really easily apply all the other tips and all the other details you've learned to doing that, and it will generally just make your life a lot easier when you're trying to hit trick shots. So to practice, I recommend you do something like go on a private server, or even just play around in public match if you don't mind too much about your KDR. So however you want to practice, it doesn't really matter, but just find a place where you can comfortably like keep practicing, spinning around, trying to just get that 360 perfect. It does help with motivation if there's other people you can find to trick shot, and obviously when you do trick shot, you're not going to do a perfect 360 every time, because right now there's going to be a guy here and he's not perfectly 360 degrees from me, so you do have to adapt it a bit, but you do get used to that really easily. Basically just practice and practice. There's not really like a set way to do it, but yeah, once you've got that, you've basically like got trick shotting in general, to be honest. When you do trick shot, you get a lot more airtime by going off stuff you can vault off of like this, so you get like a second or half a second more in the air, which really does make the difference. Another thing I want to say is don't lose motivation when you're not hitting trick shots, because obviously it just takes practice and you're not going to get amazing at it when you first start out, so god, imagine if that hit. It really doesn't matter if you don't hit, because it's just a matter of practice. Once you get the hang of it, you've sorted it out basically. I know a lot of people who get put off by not knowing how to trick shot when they first start, and they think they're never gonna learn to trick shot, but honestly it's just a matter of like trial and error, and eventually you will be able to hit easily. There is the factor of complexity when you trick shot, but to be honest, on Roblox that doesn't really matter because you can't even do many combos and they don't even make the shot that much better. I mean, I guess it's slightly better when you swap, but to be honest, doesn't even matter too much, so don't really worry about complexity complexity, but there is one combo that does make the shot a lot better because barely anyone's hit it, and it's called the infinite fade. I do have a tutorial on it that I'll probably link in the description, but I'll basically just quickly overview what you have to do that. So to infinite fade, all you have to do is get your sniper out, and it can't be a BFG, but it can be any other sniper, just not anything with like one bullet in the mag, and you hold G and then swap to 2, like swap to your secondary, and then it will come up with this so it looks normal, but once you do that you can shoot like really fast like that. So then you just swap back to your primary and yeah, you can just hit the shot. But as I said, there is a more in-depth tutorial I have that will explain it way more clearly, so check in the description if you want to learn how to do that properly. Oh my god, that was so nice. There are a few things you can do to stop your shots like being really unclean and stuff, but when you're first starting out, they don't really matter too much, so I'm gonna just quickly whiz through them. The first thing is don't hit ground when you trick shot, so don't do something like that where when you jump off, you land on the ground then shoot, because once you do that, that just makes it really unclean. Always try and shoot while you're in the air, and that just makes it a lot better. Also, try not to like stop and stare or go back on yourself. Like, if you do something like that, it looks really unclean. So basically, after you do your 360, just try and shoot instantly. Don't stare for ages and don't go back on yourself, and that'll make your shot way more clean. And the final thing is, when you're trick shotting, always try and record your trick shots, because it's just really annoying when you hit a trick shot when you're not recording, and there's just no point like going for trick shots without recording. If you hit and you're not recording, you have no proof, and there's like, it's pretty pointless. But if you are recording, then you can look back on your trick shots, you can show your friends, you can do all that sort of stuff. So generally, I always recommend you record when you are trick shotting. Another thing that will probably help you hit more trick shots is like, you're always gonna find someone before you trick shot, because I know a lot of people who are just starting out that just randomly spin like here and expect to hit someone, but that is pure luck, and I rarely ever hit a shot like just randomly spinning. You've always got to like know who you're trick shotting and try and get the timing right, so know what you're going for. Like, you know, just find a person and go for a shot on them. That's going to increase your odds a lot. And when you do trick shot, I know you're not meant to like stop and stare, but don't instantly shoot. Like, I know I'm kind of contradicting what I said earlier, but if you do this, then your gun isn't going to be in the perfect place. Like, it's going to be slightly upwards, so just wait like a fraction of a second after you spin, so your gun kind of drops down and you can trick shot them easily, like this sort of thing, like I did just there. Another key part of the trick shotting community on this game is slide shotting, where, as you may have seen earlier, you like boost up into the air like this, and it's actually really cool. Loads of people do it now, but if you want to learn how to do it, as I said about my infinite fade tutorial, I also have a tutorial for this where I basically explain how you get in the air and stuff and boost up. So if you want to know how to do that, check that out, but it's actually really simple, and obviously it's really cool when you hit stuff like that, so yeah. Oh my god, that was so weird. As I did say earlier, the main point to trick shotting is just practice, honestly. Like, with these tips in mind, after you practice, you'll just improve and improve, and you'll hit more and more. It's just like, yeah, just keep on grinding, keep on practicing, and you'll end up hitting loads. It's just all about effort. There's no like specific trick that's just gonna make you hit loads and loads instantly. Practice is the key part, and these tips are just gonna like help you along the way while you practice. So mainly focus on practicing, keep this in mind, and hopefully that'll make your shots that bit more better. In terms of trick shotting spots, you can basically trick shot anything, but obviously some spots are better than others. I recommend like going as high as you can, because then you have more time in the air and you can do way more things, but you can basically trick shot off of anything, especially stuff you can like vault off of, so stuff that like sticks up off the ground, stuff like this. As long as you can vault off of it, it's really easy, and you don't even have to do that. If you dolphin dive off something, you can really easily just have loads of time in the air. So basically you can use any part of any map to trick shot. It doesn't matter too much. You can be really creative with it. So yeah, you don't have to wait for something like Crane that has loads of spots. You can just trick shot off of pretty much any map. The one that does have the least trick shotting spots is Metro, but even that has a few spots you can trick shot off of, like in the escalators and stuff. So I am thinking of making a video of like loads of trick shotting spots, but they're actually really easy to learn, and there isn't too many like really generic spots. But if you guys do want to see that, let me know in the comments, because I'm happy to do it. It's just, I know it probably would be pretty pointless. But you never know, it could help, so just let me know if you want to see something like that. Once you do learn how to time a 360, then you can move on to stuff like 720s and 1080s, which basically you can like really easily master once you've mastered the 360, as a 720 is basically just two 360s in like really quick succession. Like, yeah, it's basically 360, 360. Although that was really badly timed, but once you get the 360, you can move on to all kinds of stuff. Alright, so I think I've basically gone through everything, but let me know if there's anything I've missed, and if I do ever do another version of this, I'll include it in that, since I feel like I've covered everything, but there's almost certainly something I've like not gone through. Either way, I do really hope this video helped. As I said, it's probably just gonna help you and assist you. It's not gonna like make you a master instantly, but if you take into account the tips I've showed you, hopefully that will make you like improve at trickshotting and basically just make you better. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. As I keep saying, I hope this helped, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Peace.